Hello everyone, this is my second video for the lesson. Please note down the hard words in your course copies. In my last video, I gave you the summary of the lesson. Now take out your books and start reading the lesson with me. Dorothy lived with her small dog, Toto, on the bleak Kansas prairie. One day, a dangerous cyclone swept across the prairie and picked up the house with Dorothy and Toto still inside. As the hours passed, Dorothy eventually fell asleep, and when she woke up, she and Toto were in a fantastical and strange land. To find her way back, she started her journey to the Emerald City. Now, read on. So, Dorothy and her dog Toto lived in Kansas prairie. What is prairie? Prairie is the open area of grassland in US. And one day a cyclone came and took Dorothy and Toto along with their house, and when they woke up they found themselves in a strange place, and now Dorothy wants to find her way back, and she started her journey to the Emerald City. Dorothy, come along, Toto. We will go to the Emerald City and ask the Great Oz how to get back to Kansas again. So Dorothy told her dog Toto to come along with her because they want to go to Emerald City where they will find Oz who will tell them how to get back to Kansas again. When she had gone several miles, she came across a great cornfield beyond the fence, and not far away she saw a scarecrow placed high on a pole to keep the birds from the ripe corn. While Dorothy was looking earnestly into the queer, painted face of the scarecrow, she was surprised to see one of the eyes slowly wink at her. Now, while Dorothy and Toto were on their journey, they found a cornfield, and inside the cornfield was a scarecrow. Now, scarecrow, what is a scarecrow? It is a model of a person who is dressed in old clothes and put in a field of growing crops to frighten birds. So, scarecrow was there inside the cornfield, and Dorothy was looking very seriously at this scarecrow. It was very strange. The face was painted, and she was surprised because that scarecrow winked at her. Scarecrow said, "Good day." Dorothy said, "Did you speak?" Scarecrow, "Certainly. How do you do?" Dorothy, "I am pretty well. Thank you. How do you do?" Scarecrow, "I am not feeling well, for it is very tedious being perched up here night and day to scare away crows." So Scarecrow was not feeling good because it was very difficult for him to being perched up to put something in a high position. He was perched up there inside the field to scare the crows, and it was very difficult for him. Dorothy said, "Can't you get down?" Scarecrow, "No, for this pole is stuck up my back. If you will please take away the pole, I shall be greatly obliged to you." Now Scarecrow wants to get down, and he requests Dorothy to take away the pole. If she takes away the pole and helps Scarecrow to get down, he will be very thankful to her. Dorothy reached up with both arms and lifted the figure off the pole. For being stuffed with straw, it was quite light. So the figure, this model of a person which was Scarecrow, it was stuffed with straw. Straw are the dry grass, dry stem of grains, and it was very light, so Dorothy easily took to lift it down. Now Scarecrow said, "Thank you very much. I feel like a new man. Now tell me, who are you and where are you going?" Dorothy. "My name is Dorothy and I am going to the Emerald City to ask the Great Oz to send me back to Kansas." Scarecrow. "Where is the Emerald City and who is Oz?" Dorothy. "Why, don't you know?" Scarecrow. "No, indeed, I don't know anything. You see, I am stuffed, so I have no brains at all." Now, Scarecrow was very thankful to Dorothy because she pulled her down and helped her in getting down. Now, he asked Dorothy, "Where are you going and who are you?" Dorothy says everything about how she came back, how she left Kansas and wants her way back to Kansas. So she is going to Emerald City to visit Great Oz, who will help her in finding the way to Kansas. Scarecrow said that he wants the brains because he did not know anything about Emerald City and who is Oz, because he is stuffed with straw and he don't have brains. To which Dorothy says, "Oh, I am awfully sorry for you. Awfully, very, very sorry for you." Scarecrow, "Do you think if I go to the Emerald City with you, Oz would give me some brains?" Dorothy, "I cannot tell, but you may come with me if you like. If Oz will not give you any brains, you will be no worse off than you are now." Scarecrow, "That is true. You see, I don't mind my legs and arms and body being stuffed because I cannot get hurt. If anyone treads on my toes or sticks a pin into me, it doesn't matter, for I can't feel it. But I do not want people to call me a fool." Now Dorothy tells that she can't say that if Oz will be able to give him brains or not, but it will be not bad than what he is doing now. To which Scarecrow says that this is true. My legs and arms and my body are stuffed so I don't get hurt if anyone steps on me or sticks a pin into me, because I can't feel it. But I don't want people to call me fool. Now Dorothy says, "I understand how you feel. If you will come with me, I will ask Oz to do all he can for you." Scarecrow, "Thank you." And they started along the path of yellow brick for the Emerald City. After an hour or so, the light faded away and they found themselves stumbling along in the darkness. Now they all started walking, and when it was dark outside, when it was getting dark, they found they wanted to go to rest because they were stumbling in the darkness. Stumbling means losing their balance and falling over. So they were stumbling because it was dark and they cannot move more. Now Dorothy says, "If you see any house or any place where we can pass the night, you must tell me, for it is very uncomfortable walking in the dark." Scarecrow, "I see a little cottage at the right of us. Shall we go there?" Dorothy says to Scarecrow that if you see any house or place where we can spend the night, then tell me, because now it is very uncomfortable. It is very difficult to walk in the dark. Scarecrow says, "I see a little cottage at the right of us, so we should go there and rest." Dorothy, "Yes, indeed, I am all tired out." So the Scarecrow led her through the trees until they reached the cottage, and Dorothy soon fell into a sound sleep. When she woke up, Toto had long been out chasing birds around him and squirrels. When she had finished her meal and was about to go back to the road of yellow brick, she was startled to hear a deep groan nearby. So they slept, they reached the cottage and they soon fell into sleep. When they woke up, she finished her meal and she started her journey. The three of them started their journey again, and then she heard a deep groan, a deep sound coming from nearby. And she was very much shocked. She was frightened to hear that groaning sound. Dorothy, what was that? Scarecrow, I cannot imagine, but we can go and see. One of the big trees had been partly chopped through, and standing beside it with an uplifted axe in his hands was a man made entirely of tin. His head and arms and legs were jointed upon his body, but he stood perfectly motionless as if he could not stir at all. Dorothy looked at him in amazement, and so did the Scarecrow, while Toto barked sharply and made a snap at the tin legs, which hurt his teeth. Now they went to search where the sound is coming from, and then behind the trees they saw a man standing with axe in his hand, and this man was entirely made of tin. His legs, arms, and head, they were jointed, but he could not perfectly move. He was motionless, and Dorothy and Scarecrow, they were both surprised to see the man. He was rusted, his joints were paining, and Toto barked sharply, and he barked and hurt his teeth by snapping on the tin's legs. Dorothy said, Did you groan? Tin Man said, Yes, I did. I have been groaning for more than a year, and no one has even heard me before or come to help me. So the Tin Man said that, Yes, I am groaning from last 1 year, but nobody heard me and nobody came to help me. To which Dorothy says, What can I do for you? Tin Man, get an oil can and oil my joints. They are rusted so badly that I cannot move them at all. If I am well oiled, I shall soon be all right again. You will find an oil can on a shelf in my cottage. So Dorothy asks, What can I do for you? To which Tin Man says that get an oil can from the cottage and put oil on my joints so that I can move. Dorothy says, Where are your joints? Oil my neck first. Tin Man says, Oil my neck first, then oil the joints in my arms. And Dorothy oiled them, and the Scarecrow bent them carefully until they were quite free from rust and as good as new. So Dorothy and Scarecrow both helped Tin Man in getting his oil and make him rust free. Tin Man says, This is a great comfort. I have been holding that axe in the air ever since I rusted, and I am glad to be able to put it down at last. Now, if you will oil the joints of my legs, I shall be all right once more. Now, Tin Man was very comfortable now. He was holding that axe in the air since he was rusted since 1 year, and now he could put his hand down. So he was very much relaxed, and he wanted Dorothy to oil the joint of his legs. So they oiled his legs, and now he could move freely. Tin Man says, I might have stood there always if you had not come along. How did you happen to be here? Dorothy, we are on our way to the Emerald City to see the great Oz. Tin Man, why do you wish to see Oz? Dorothy, I want him to send me back to Kansas, and the Scarecrow wants him to put a few brains into his head. The Tin Woodman appeared to think deeply for a moment. Tin Man, do you suppose Oz could give me a heart? Dorothy, why, I guess so. It would be as easy as to give the Scarecrow brains. Tin Man, true. So if you will allow me to join your party, I will also go to the Emerald City and ask Oz to help me. Now Tin Man asked them that if that where are they going? How did they came here? And if they would not have come here, he would have not been able to move. He would have stood there always. To which Dorothy says that they are going to Emerald City to see the Oz, because Oz will send me back to Kansas and Scarecrow will get back his brains. To which Tin Man says that, can your Oz give me heart? To which Dorothy says, yes, the Oz can give you heart, as Scarecrow will get brains and I will get the way back to Kansas. To which Tin Man says, that if you allow me to join your party, I will also go to the Emerald City and ask Oz to help me. Now Scarecrow says, come along with us. They all passed through the forest until they came to the road that was paved with yellow brick. There were few birds in this part of the forest, for birds love the open country where there is a plenty of sunshine. But now and then there came a deep growl from some wild animal hidden among the trees. These sounds made the little girl's heart beat fast. Suddenly a great lion bounded onto the road. Fearing Toto would be killed, she rushed forward and slapped the lion upon his nose. Now they all were moving through the forest. They all four were moving through the forest. The Scarecrow, the Tin Man, the dog, Toto and Dorothy. They were moving through the forest and they found few birds in the forest, because birds love the open place and they need plenty of sunshine. But now what they heard a growling sound from some wild animal. Now Dorothy was very much scared, because there was a lion and Dorothy slapped the lion because she thought that lion would bite the Toto. Dorothy, don't you dare to bite Toto. You ought to be ashamed of yourself. A big beast like you biting a poor little dog. So Dorothy slapped the lion because she was afraid that the lion may kill her dog. The lion, I did not bite him. Dorothy, no, but you tried to. You are nothing but a big coward. The lion, I know it. I have always known it. But how can I help it? So the lion says, yes, I know that I am a coward. But how can I help myself? Dorothy asks, what makes you a coward? Coward is a person who is not brave and is afraid in difficult situations. Now the lion says, it's a mystery. I suppose I was born that way. All the other animals in the forest naturally expect me to be brave, for the lion is everywhere thought to be the king of beasts. I learned that if I roared very loudly, every living thing was frightened and got out of my way. Whenever I have met a man, I have been awfully scared, but I just roared at him and he has always run away as fast as he could go. To which lion says, yes, this is a mystery. I am a lion, but still I am coward, because everyone expects me to brave and everyone thinks that I am a king of beasts. I roar loudly and everyone gets frightened and they get out of my way. But whenever I meet a man, I am awfully scared, because I'm scared, but I roar at him and he always runs away from me. But in reality, I am a coward. Scarecrow say, but that isn't right. The king of beasts should not be a coward. The lion, I know it, but whenever there is a danger, my heart begins to beat fast. Do you think Oz could give me courage? Scarecrow says that this is not good. The king of beasts should not be coward. He should be brave. To which lion says, I know that it is not correct, but whenever there is danger, whenever I find danger, my heart begins to beat fast. And can your Oz give me courage? To which Scarecrow says, just as easily as he could give me brains. Tin Man says, or give me heart. And Dorothy says, or send me back to Kansas. The lion says, then if you don't mind, I will go with you, for my life is simply unbearable without a bit of courage. So the lion wants to join them because he finds his life unbearable because he doesn't have courage. To which Dorothy says, you are welcome, for you will help to keep away the other wild beasts. It seems to be it seems to me they must be more cowardly than you are if they allow you to scare them so easily. So Dorothy says, "You are welcome because you will help us in keeping the wild animals away from our way." The lion says, "They really are, but that doesn't make me any braver, and as long as I know myself to be a coward, I shall be unhappy." He says that they all believe me to be brave, but I know that I am not brave, I am coward, and when and the and until and unless I feel myself brave, I will be unhappy because thinking myself, I know myself to be coward, and this makes me unhappy. So once more the little company set off upon the journey, the lion walking with stately strides at Dorothy's sides. Stately strides means taking long, graceful steps, as the lion, because he's the king of jungle, he takes the steps, long steps, and elegant steps. Toto did not approve of this new comrade at first, for he could not forget how nearly he had been crushed between the lion's great jaws. Now, Toto did not like this company first because he did not forget that how he must have been killed by coming between the lion's jaws. But after some time, he became more at ease, and presently Toto and the cowardly lion have grown to be good friends. Now, Toto and the lion became good friends, and they all moved together to Emerald City. I hope this lesson is clear to you all. To know what happened next, we have to read the book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. This much was only given in your book. This is the extract which is adapted by Akash Shukla into a play. So to know what happened next, did they find the Emerald City? Did they find the Oz? And did Dorothy went back to Kansas? We have to read the whole book, The Wonderful Wizard of Oz. I hope you have understood this much. Thank you, everyone.